What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. Tonight we're gonna have more of a laid-back paced conversation about a lot of things in the market. We had a wild night last night on streams. That's why I'm relaxing in the PJs, and I think ironically this might be the nicest I've looked, although these are a bit expensive. So keep using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying, and I'll keep finding funny but cool stuff to wear. TCG Player has an amazing update. I am so happy with this. We now have numerical data on sales. We have sales listings, not even a graph. This is far more accurate, that is dated, and we can see how things sold. I remember this being around $350. People were selling it for $330-ish on Facebook because they would take the fees off the platforms like TCG and eBay, so they offer a deal there. But now it's bumped up to $380, but we can see what actual sales happened for it to end up at the price and the quantities of sale. I love this move by TCG Player. This is so exciting for the future of actually looking at what's happening with the market and the cards. That shock value, oh my gosh, this price is crazy, what? Versus, look what they had to do. Look at how many sold this day. Look at how many sold the previous days. How many sold all at once? Could it be just a couple of buyers? Was it people going in? It doesn't tell us how many people went in, but it does say how many sold and what they had to do to get there. And that lets us draw the conclusions to the stories much clearer. So Lina, up in price. This isn't too surprising. She's a charmer that's very useful. I thought she might follow more so Usa's path in terms of being liked, but then she does play into the meta, and some people have the religion of thighs with their waifus. Other movement within the set isn't too much. Diviner still actually around 74. You have one motivated seller. You do have Amazement settling in. Ticket going back down a little bit, but Arlecchino staying up around 25. And Attraction Horror. That engine was so underestimated coming in. I'm guilty of it too. At least I got ahead of the curve before it spiked, to tell you guys. But man, I enjoy playing this engine a lot online too right now. And then you do have Ascended Sage still up in price from that new Utopia support. Speaking of new support, prices go we see that a ton on the market. Penguins got support, and Penguin Soldier, the classic, got bought out in so many different places. The Dual Terminal, the Duelist Leagues, the Retro Pack, just freaking everywhere Penguin Soldiers got bought out because yay, Penguins, it's so exciting. Traptrix Sarah is around $40-ish. We have one motivated seller. No feedback, around 34 before it's 39 and then 40. And we can see she's actually been selling around there, and some even during the hype a little bit more. I've been playing Traptrix too. It does have its problems in this metagame like Lightning Storm, but I also think it's overestimated on the market weirdly, but underestimated within the metagame. It's such a weird mix, and we do see Traptrix Vesiculo going way down in price, down to around $2 with tons of sellers swarming that hype, despite people wanting playsets that would be going after playsets for it. I think an underestimated Trap Hole, if you are looking around, only has two printings. One's a rare and one of the most popular Megatons ever, and then an Ultra in its set that is still around $1. Flames of Destruction is one of the best sets ever. Network Trap Hole reads, when your opponent special summons a monster or monsters from the main deck or graveyard, banish it face down. Now, you're not negating an effect or on-summon effect, but you are taking care of a problem and getting it off the field. And usually, things summoned from the deck can be superior extenders and crazy stuff, and just banishing it face down can definitely be excellent, but that's main deck, not extra deck. So this is a trap hole that covers a lot of the different areas that the other trap holes do miss, and catches a lot of dual spy surprise, and it's a bit of a penny stonk right now. Speaking of penny stonks, people are eating up super rare Arthvows. We can see how they were eating it up, but it is now nearing $5, and that's because of Flood. The reason a lot of people testing it out, looking to the future of the deck, while there's still plenty of commons, this is the only holo foil version, and people are definitely going after it, and I think it looks really good as holo, and then has that sad lineage into actual lore in Yu-Gi-Oh! With Mecha Dog Marin and all the other Marins going into the Skull Servant family, so it is actually a huge lore card on top of it, and I love when that mixes in. People have been quoting in my streams, oh, Jack in the Hand, it could be a real penny stock. Think about it, John, think. And now I want you to think about new ratios. There's only 50 commons per set. Phantom Rage is up for reprints in the Megatons. That means you're pulling around 3.8 of every common per box, and Phantom Rage still was open pretty much a lot for stuff like the Tri-Brigade, Zeus, and other cards, Virtual Worlds among them. And I do think that Phantom Rage aged extremely well, extremely fast, despite initially flopping. But as a penny stonk, commons have such an uphill battle to become worth anything, despite how great they are. I think it would take years and years versus tons of play with it. But I do see the Flunderies decks playing this. Amanda Palm has new field centers up with Ecclesia. I never thought I would see so much booty. And then I love the Catwoman Farragut. So you can use code What'sGood5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly on her amazing art. I have seen people talking about the wait times. Do be aware versus the estimated wait time, it can take much longer. Sometimes there's factory errors, and she's been doing an amazing job of keeping people updated over on Facebook. You can see when sleeves get done. She's posting about them. When things come in before shipping, she's posting. She's been doing amazing about updating people on what's happening, actually getting the shipping done, updates on where field centers are at, errors that have happened that needed to be fixed in the factory. These things do happen, so sometimes it's going to take longer to fulfill. Do be aware versus that estimate, but you can, again, use code What'sGood5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly. And the Striker bundles are still up on the site as well. They will be there. Very little time left, I believe, up till June 25th to order, and I really like how this bundle turned out and can't wait to get it for myself. IP Masquerade is an interesting conversation. You have the altar art coming. Again, you can use code What'sGood5 over at tier 0 for 5% off and to support the channel directly on these super cheap individual prices with worldwide shipping at 50 pounds. Sleeves, playmats, I know not everybody wants the binder or deck box in the bundle, but some people want to stock up on these, since I've seen the Japanese actually ordering bundles of 40 of these and like taking them in, because the playmat over there with the altar art Masquerade is $180. So this is 1/10 of that. That's a pretty good deal. But that does bring the conversation. Surely the altar art is coming. You're gambling no matter what you say. If you sell this card right now, you're gambling that it's not stuck as a super high prismatic starlight secret rare or whatever, and that it doesn't, end up to where it's easy access ultra and something for the altar arts. But the TCG has not done something like that with an altar art yet, but we know Masquerade is on another level. They know the Starlight's $1,000. They know she's a wanted extra deck monster. So, will the reprint be accessible? Most likely, but will it drive the price down? How will it be shorted? How hard will it be to get? We don't really know. So you're still gambling making that sale, and we don't know what product it will end up in, how it will be used to sell the product. So I wouldn't be rushing to sell something that you can use heavily within a metagame that's a really awesome tool within the meta, but like, people deciding to sell Masquerade or not based only on this, consider how it can go. Because anybody telling you they know the future, they're throwing a dart at the dartboard and hoping it sticks, saying I told you stuff. Market Man can tell you we're not all seeing time traveling info brokers, and we don't know which route that could go. Is it safe to sell it? Sure, you get 20, but then if it's only a Starlight, people might scramble for this, and then you'll end up paying more for the card you already sold. Mardell is way up in price, but apparently it has been for some time. Somebody told me it's around 30, and it seems to have been that way for some time. Sales around a couple days ago around 24, but then tons of sales at this market price. I do think generators are an awesome engine. It's odd to me how fast she is selling, though, when she could get a Lart. Come on, Konami. You actually did cover this up and censor a little. And then you have Generator Boss Stage, which is a short print, super needed as the field spell, and it's just chugging along at $10 still with tons available. So that math doesn't add up to me, but you can play, I guess, smaller engines. She's a plant. I just don't put these two together on why she would be selling. So if you know, let me know in the comment section down below why you think her sales rates is actually up. Oh, waifu over field spell that you play through it. Like, why do you think that this price is the way it is and actually getting its sales? I'd love to know and be caught up myself, in the comment section often does that for me. Speaking of Tri-Brigade, prices are way up. It's funny how in the Dogmatica engine you can end up sending Frigette and end up having her use her effect in max raritying Starlights for the dump. She's also not the highest quantity here. Remember, Phantom Rage is up for reprints in the 2021 Megatons, and I think Tri Brigade would be one of the things they're after along that, you know, Dogmatica lore, I almost said war line, lore line, and then you have Fractal way up in price still, Omen way up in price still. Something I did notice is Kit is selling consistently above market price when we look over here, so you may want to get your Kit sooner than later, but I could also see her getting upgraded in Megatons, but that's, guess what, she's from Blazing Vortex all the way in 2022. That's why I think you should get Kit sooner than later. Her reprint may not be for a very long time due to her set, while the rest of the deck could be getting reprinted sooner. So you might want to pick these up if you're thinking about the deck. And finally, Anti-Spell Fragrance. People often, by the way, just as a side conversation, people often really drag their heels on the last cheapest pieces thinking I'll get around to it. Bundle it in. Don't go later. Don't go, oh, it's only $5 now. What's the worst that could happen? Like, yeah, it could be $5. Why spend $3 more? Like, get it sooner than later if you're playing the deck. Anti-Spell Fragrance, the Secret Rares game promos are around 30, and we're seeing a lot of play in the metagame. And somebody was asking, like, will it go cheaper again? Well, if it falls out of the meta, yes, it can. But this has been in meta after meta after meta. It's a card people don't like playing against. It's a game promo that is very striking, and it's prismatic Secret Rare art. And I really do like this, how it comes, and I think it could go up towards 50, 60 over time, but in the immediate future, yes, if it stops seeing metagame play after ban list, it could dip, and then it could see play again and spike. Like, you might have an opportunity to buy this cheaper than 30, but I also don't think it's a bad buy at 30, especially now, when you see competing prices like, let's say, the dual terminal being like $10 quote-unquote solid. That's kind of crazy to me, and those are motivated sellers. What's it actually selling at, though? We see a ton of mod plays have gone in light plays and people settling, but yeah, the Nearmint's selling for around 10 consistently. I would rather just pay the extra and have a piece of history that goes into more collectibles versus Dual Terminal 4 got clearanced at one point, and we see a Dual Terminal crash down again and again and again in a lot of prices, but then we also see skyrocketing past what we would ever expect. I think the OTS Tournament Pack 1 Super is also nice. I believe the lowest are around $3 to $5. And then you do have very cheap ultra rare options if you just want a holo of this card from Dual Devastator and Battles of Legend. I noticed the Battles of Legend quantity is dipping, though, with Dual Devastator being the last thing left. And eventually, all those holos could run out and be worth way more than they are now. So do think about getting whatever version of Anti-Spell you want sooner than later. Max Rarity is the game promo. Or if you're into the niche of DT, you love how the old DT looks, I don't blame you. I like DT 1 through 4 before 5 goes to that Shatterfoil look, and I still don't think I would be spending long-term when DT just got juiced, though. That being said, more conversation-based stuff in today's Market Watch. How did you enjoy it? Hopefully you did. Crazy stream. I'm gonna go relax now. I will work out tonight. I'll keep on that train. I'm gonna be doing 3 weeks of dieting, trying to lose 10 pounds over these next 3 weeks before, you know, having some more fun. But what do you guys think of everything happening with the market? Hopefully you're taking care of yourself and you're having a good time with whatever's going on in Yu-Gi-Oh! While you wait for the ban list, jail, where's the ban list? Hopefully you are having a good day, though. Thanks for watching, everybody.